Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom called Joyland, there lived a king and queen. They were getting old, and their son, Prince Vincent, was all grown up. It was time for the prince to become the king, but before that, he needed to marry a beautiful girl who would be the queen. The prince was very handsome and charming. Many young girls in Joyland dreamed of marrying him. So, the old king and queen decided to have a grand royal party to find the perfect bride for their son. They made announcements inviting all the young girls in the kingdom to come to the party. The excitement spread throughout Joyland as every girl eagerly prepared for the royal event. Dresses were sewn and hair was styled as the girls hoped to catch the prince's eye at the party. The air buzzed with anticipation, and everyone wondered who would be the lucky girl to become the future queen. In Joyland there was a family of merchants. They were not poor, instead, they were quite well off. In this family, there were 2 daughters and a son. The older daughter was named Azura, and the younger daughter was Zoe. Both of them were very beautiful. Zoe, the younger sister, was very excited because she wanted to meet Prince Vincent at the royal party. She dreamt of becoming the queen and marrying Prince Vincent. Her heart was full of joy as she imagined a life in the grand castle. On the other hand, Azura, the elder sister, wasn't interested in marrying the prince. She still wanted to join the royal party, but her reasons were different. She didn't have the same dreams of being a queen like her younger sister, Zoe. So, with different hopes in their hearts, the 2 sisters prepared to attend the grand celebration in the kingdom of Joyland. The day of the royal party finally arrived in Joyland. All the young women were dressed in their finest clothes, including Zoe and Azura. They looked beautiful in their lovely dresses as they made their way to the grand royal celebration. At the party, the old king and queen had a special task, to find the most beautiful girl for Prince Vincent. The prince, however, didn't seem very interested in the girls who were trying to catch his attention. Despite their efforts to flirt with him, the prince remained uninterested. Even though the prince wasn't keen on dancing with the girls, his parents insisted. They wanted him to find a suitable bride for the kingdom. However, none of the girls seemed to impress the prince. It was a bit challenging. Then, the keen eyes of the king and queen fell upon Zoe and Azura, who stood out with their exceptional beauty. The royal couple decided to invite the 2 sisters to dance with Prince Vincent. The excitement in the air grew as the royal trio, Prince Vincent, Zoe, and Azura, took to the dance floor, creating a moment that would change the course of their lives. Zoe was overjoyed when she received the invitation to dance with Prince Vincent. She happily moved forward, her eyes sparkling with excitement. On the other hand, Azura was shocked by the unexpected attention. Feeling uneasy, she tried to hide and quickly ran away to find a quiet place. Prince Vincent, unaware of Azura's reaction, began to dance with Zoe. However, in her excitement, Zoe accidentally stepped on the prince's foot. This made Prince Vincent quite angry, and with a frown on his face, he left the dance floor abruptly. Zoe, realizing her mistake, felt sad and embarrassed. She hadn't meant to upset the prince. Despite the mishap, the royal party continued, and Zoe couldn't shake off the feeling of regret as she watched the prince walk away. Azura, still feeling shocked and wanting to be away from the royal party, ran to the back gate of the palace. There, she started looking around anxiously, as if she was expecting someone. That someone was James, her secret lover. James worked in the palace, and Azura had come to the royal party not to meet Prince Vincent but to see her beloved James. As Azura waited, she heard voices approaching. Fearing that someone might see her, she quickly hid herself behind a nearby structure. Peeking through the shadows, Azura observed a man and a woman kissing passionately. It was a surprising sight for her, and she couldn't help but watch, feeling a mix of curiosity and astonishment. To Azura's surprise, the man she saw kissing the woman was James, her secret lover. Azura couldn't believe her eyes, she was in shock. Feeling unable to confront James for his actions, she decided to wait until he and the woman left. After James and the woman departed, Azura emerged from her hiding spot, tears streaming down her face. She was in deep shock and couldn't contain her emotions. Filled with overwhelming sadness and confusion, she became upset and started running, trying to escape from the troubling scene she had witnessed. As Azura ran, she accidentally bumped into Prince Vincent, who was already angry from the earlier incident on the dance floor. However, when the prince saw Azura crying and in shock, his anger softened. He recognized her distress and, instead of scolding her, he offered a helping hand to stand straight. Unfortunately, by that time, Azura had fainted in Prince Vincent's arms, adding another unexpected twist to the unfolding events at the royal party. The prince, carrying Azura gently in his arms, took her to his room to offer help. He woke her up by sprinkling a little water on her face. Azura's face looked pale, but she tried to appear calm in front of the prince. Concerned for her, Prince Vincent asked, "What happened to you? Is something or someone bothering you? You are safe in my palace. Tell me what happened so that I can help you." Azura, feeling heartbroken, replied, "Nothing happened, Prince. I just realized that I have been a fool all this time. I thought I could be truly loved by someone. How stupid of me. True love does not exist. It's all a myth." Prince Vincent understood that Azura had been betrayed by someone she loved. Without saying a word, he reached out his hand to help her walk back to her family at the party. As they walked through the palace hallway, the king and queen misunderstood the situation. They thought Prince Vincent had a liking for Azura, which led to them walking hand in hand. This caught everyone's attention, and all eyes were on them. Misinterpreting the situation, the king and queen insisted that Prince Vincent and Azura should dance together. Despite the misunderstanding, they found themselves on the dance floor, forced to dance by the royal couple, adding yet another unexpected turn to the night's events. They danced together on the royal dance floor. Prince Vincent looked into Azura's eyes, and for the first time, he truly noticed her beauty. Something changed inside him, he liked her. On the other hand, Azura just wanted to go back home. It had been a very hard day for her, and she longed for comfort. During the dance, Azura noticed the prince looking at her deeply, which made her feel uncomfortable. After the dance, the king and queen approached them, praising Azura for her beauty. Azura felt confused about how to react to the unexpected attention. Then, the king and queen asked Prince Vincent for his decision. They wanted to know if he would marry Azura. The prince looked into Azura's eyes and whispered a question in her ears. "Do you think true love does not exist?" Azura, still feeling the sting of betrayal, replied, "Yes." Prince Vincent smiled at her and said, "Then I'll prove you wrong. One day you will believe that someone can love you truly." With these words, he bowed down on his knees and kissed Azura's hand. He then declared Azura as his future wife and queen. The announcement surprised everyone, and the room erupted in applause and praise for the beautiful couple. Azura couldn't believe what had just happened, from a day filled with heartbreak and shock to becoming the future queen of Joyland. Azura looked into the prince's eyes with confusion as the royal family declared her the future queen. Despite her feelings, she couldn't say anything and had to agree with the decision. Preparations for the wedding day began, and Azura looked amazing in her wedding dress. The prince, now king, looked charming, and they were married in a joyful ceremony. Joyland was filled with happiness as the newlywed couple celebrated their union. When they were finally left alone, Queen Azura asked the new King Vincent a question: "Why did you choose me to be the queen? You know I was in love with someone else." "Then why?" King Vincent smiled and replied, "I knew you were in love with someone else and didn't want to marry me. But I also didn't want to marry just anyone. When I saw you, I decided to marry you. I promised to love you with all my heart. Give me a chance." Azura smiled, moved by his words, and held King Vincent's hand. As time passed, King Vincent and Queen Azura fell deeply in love with each other. It wasn't just a materialistic love, it was something more profound. One day, King Vincent asked Queen Azura a question: "Do you believe in true love?" Azura smiled and replied, "Yes, now I believe in true love and miracles. Meeting you was the most beautiful miracle of my life." And so, they lived happily ever after in the kingdom of Joyland.